Hi guys, Kaiser here, and welcome back to Age of Empires 2, Rome at War, the total conversion mod that takes Age of Empires 2 and brings it into the classical era. Now today is October 30th, and tomorrow is the release of the Mountain Royals expansion, bringing in the Georgians and the Armenians into the game. But if you can't wait, if you've got to sink your teeth into some new AoE content goodness right now, why don't you boot up the Rome at War mod, because they have released an expansion pack of their own. A little over a month ago, they released an expansion of their own called the Empires of the Indus, releasing 4 new Indian civilizations into the mod. And then shortly later, they brought in the Han Chinese as well, and so I'm looping them in too. So 5 new civilizations brought into Rome at War. And in this video, we're going to go ahead and spotlight those civilizations and see what they bring into the table. Some of these bonuses maybe kind of gave us a showcase as to what would eventually come with the Mountain Royals civilizations. And some of these bonuses may be a hint as to what will come in the distant future with future civilizations. Who knows? For right now, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at what these 5 civs bring to the table. Let's go skirmish mode here. Rome at War. Load the game data. And our first civilization that we're going to look at are the Gupta. They are a cavalry and siege civilization. Although, if I'm being honest with you, they feel to me like a jack-of-all-trades civ. They have a lot of options, a lot of variety. By my analysis, they seem to be a very flexible civilization. I don't think this is a civ that you're locked into a cav strategy like some others. Let's take a look at what they bring to the table. First off, like the Koreans in the base game, the Mangonel line has reduced minimum range. Stable techs research 100% faster, so twice as fast, and stables cost 75 less wood. Obviously, this sets you up for some really nice cavalry attack timings. You're able to get up scout rushes faster and more effectively because stables cost less, right? Also, if you're trying to research up into the Rome at War version of Cavalier or Paladin, they obviously research faster. That's nice. You're able to pick up bloodlines and husbandry a little bit faster, so that's nice. I don't think it's a dominant bonus, but a really nice one. Composite Bowman is available in the Middle Antiquity Age. So that is the Rome at War version of the Arbalest available in the Castle Age. And take a look at this. You get marksmanship in the Castle Age. You know, you're not losing out on that. And if you go over to the blacksmith, you're going to see they get everything except for the final archer armor upgrade. So in the Castle Age, you have super powerful, arbalests, right? Super powerful archer line. Really, really good options there if you want to go for the archer route instead of the cav route. And then, of course, farm upgrades are available in age earlier and cost 50% less. It's kind of a weaker version of the Burgundian bonus. This is an eco bonus. It's really strong. It's a really nice one, but only for the farms, not for their whole economy. Their unique unit is really cool. They have the Maharaja. Let's go over there real quick. The Maharaja is a unique elephant archer unit that can garrison archers inside the unit and increases the number of arrows fired by this unit. Repaired by villagers rather than healed by priests. So it's kind of almost like a siege unit in a way. You throw archers inside and then those archers are firing. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong about this, but I believe the Maharaja, they actually fire. The archers will fire as the unit is moving. You don't even have to stop and fire, like with the Cav Archer. Maybe I'm mistaken about that. I'm sure someone will leave a comment if I'm wrong, but either way, a very cool unit. Great way to live out your Oliphant fantasies from the Lord of the Rings. Load up your archers onto the top of the elephants and get the to rain death and destruction down on your enemy. Very cool, unique unit here. Unique text, Chaturanga. Battle elephants and Rathas gain +3 melee attack if you want to go down the cavalry route for the elephants and the Rathas. By the way, Rathas. Let's spotlight that really quickly. The Ratha has now become a regional unit. All of the Indian civilizations can take advantage of the Ratha. I believe, pound for pound, the unit is a little bit weaker than what we see in regular AoE2, but that's because now you can mass them up through the stables. So you don't have the choke point of the castles anymore. Very strong stable line. As you can see, they have bloodlines, they have husbandry available, and of course they research faster as well. You are missing the final scout line upgrade, the auxiliary cavalry, but they get everything else. Full night line, full Rathas, full battle elephants. So you can now also pick up Chaturanga, making them even stronger with their melee attack, or you can go with Navaratna. Elephant units, which would include the unique unit, heal 10 HP per minute for each university technology researched. Wow. So, really quickly, the university, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in the Imperial Age, you could have a max of 90 HP per minute out of Navaratna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the Castle Age, if you picked up all these techs. It's pretty nice. Not having to rely on monks to heal up your elephant army like that. Pretty strong if you go the elephant route. Both of these unique techs good for elephants. In the Imperial Age, Synopti, letting you tech further into the mangonel line, like the Koreans, giving their mangoes a +1 range. So additional maximum range, additional minimum range. Or steel longbows. Cavalry archers gain a charge attack. So you got the heavy cav archer. That is available. You're able to pick up Parthian tactics, marksmanship. We saw the blacksmith. They're missing the final armor upgrade, but otherwise they've got it all. And then you give them a charge attack on top of that. Really powerful ranged options. Really powerful cav options. Probably the only thing that they're missing, their barracks line is not great. You don't get auxiliary spearmen, which is essentially the halberdier. You don't get the longswordsman or the champion for the barracks. So you're kind of blocked off into the Castle Age when it comes to their barracks. And you're missing the final infantry armor upgrades. So not the best barracks line, but really good archer options, a really good stable. Siege looks excellent, right? You got a full siege workshop here. You do get siege engineers, yeah. Arrow slits, okay. Fortified wall, architecture. I guess architecture would be nice to have, but yeah, I mean, they have just about everything. A really good, flexible civilization, and a really fun one. Next up, we have, after the Gupta, I'm going to skip the Han. I'm going to go to them last because they're technically not really part of the Indian civilizations. Kushan. They are a cavalry archer and priest civilization. Let's take a look at what they've got. Archery range techs cost 50% less. So this is like the archer version of the Gupta bonus for the stables. Archer range techs cost 50% less, so it's cheaper to go into improved bowman, marksmanship, Parthian tactics, heavy cav archer, camel archer. Those techs cost less. The spearman upgrade line is free, a lot like the Ethiopians in the base game. Brahmins, a unique unit for Kushan. No, I'm sorry. No. Brahmins, another regional Indian unit. So they do miss out on the Ratha, which is kind of a shame. They're missing out on that, but they get the Brahmins, which I believe all Indian bonuses have. And if we see here, the Indian priest that heals faster than regular priest has a higher minimum conversion time, but a lower maximum conversion time than regular priests. I'd say the only reason you would want to get a priest is to pick up relics. Brahmins are not allowed to pick up relics. But what you're going to find with the Brahmin is that they are a more reliable version of the priest. They heal faster, and you can rely on their conversion time better. Yes, theoretically, the priest could convert faster than the Brahmin, but you also don't have to worry about the Brahmin taking as long as the priest on his worst day, right? We've all been there where we're trying to get a convert on a night, and the priest just takes forever and ever and ever for the conversion to go off. With the Brahmin, you will develop a better sense of exactly when the Brahmin will get that conversion off. So, a very exciting option, and I think a unit worth going into if you're playing an Indian Civ. So, for the Brahmins, for the Kushan, they move 10% faster. So that makes them an even stronger monk unit for this Civ. Caravan, which is a market technology that makes your trade cards and merchant ships go faster. It also now makes your villagers move 20% faster. So this is a really nice eco upgrade. Faster moving villagers is huge. And that's a nice pickup. Now, of course, that's only available in the Castle Age. You got to actually research Caravan first. It's still really nice. Going to help out your lumberjacks a lot. Start the game with 100 additional stone and 50 additional gold, and then a unique building. The Royal Mints are available in the Middle Antiquity Age. And that's on top of 2 unique units. So let's go ahead and go through those unique units real quick before we get to the unique text. The Royal Mint is a Castle Age unique building, which is essentially a super gold mine. The Kushan unique building slowly generates gold. So it's kind of like a mini feitoria that you can throw down for only 200 wood, and it serves as a drop site for gold miners, making those nearby gold miners work 30% faster. So a really nice building to throw down. I will tell you, it's not mentioned here, there is a build limit of 3 for the Royal Mint. So you're not able to throw down Royal Mints all over your base and get an unlimited supply of gold. A massive stream of gold. You are limited to 3 Royal Mints. So you probably want to spread those Royal Mints out, find 3 separate gold piles, and place them down so you get the faster working gold miners, as well as the trickle of gold. But a limit of 3. Still, a really nice building that will, of course, supplement your economy really well. And then we've got 2 unique units, Kara Erango and the Kanarang. The Kara Erango is a cavalry archer unit with high base attack. It's not affected by marksmanship or ballistics. That's a recent balance change, because I'll tell you, I played a game with them recently, and these guys were so strong. And I'd say they still are strong. They are essentially the Rome at War version of the Conquistador, except they actually are affected by your blacksmith archer tech. So not just your armor, but also your attack upgrades as well affect the Kara Erango. And at the time that I played them in a community game, they had marksmanship, they had ballistics, and it just made them unbelievably powerful and strong. So they were nerfed like that. They still are a really strong unit. If you enjoy the Spanish and you enjoy playing conks, this is a great unit to go into, a great civilization to play. You've got the Royal Mints behind you helping to support the gold eco. You go into these units, yeah, they're really, really good. And then you have the Kanarang, which, if I am not mistaken, is found in the town center. And I've gone the wrong way here. Yeah, the Kanarang. A Kushan unique diplomatic unit, makes nearby enemies attack 40% slower, but they cannot fight themselves. So this is a fun unit. You throw in a couple of these, you mix them into your army, and you just get them near the enemy. And when you do, your enemies will attack 40% slower. Right, so they're gonna be hitting you slower. You're able to, of course, hit them faster, and it's a really, really strong unit. If you can see they're kind of expensive, so I wouldn't necessarily go into these guys in the feudal age, but when you've got a really good economy, you mix them in, and they can certainly make or break, a battle. Pretty cool. Their unique techs, Mahakstrapa. No way am I pronouncing that right, but that's what we're going with. Mahakstrapa. Each town center built, which I would assume does not include your first TC, because that's one that you start with. It's not built. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, each town center built gives 300 food, 200 wood, 100 gold, and 50 stone. Wow. That makes booming just easy, right? I mean, think about it. Every town center normally costs 275 wood and 100 stone. So right here, this is halving your stone cost by giving you 50 stone back. It's almost, I will say, 2/3 of your wood cost, going from 275 to only 75 wood by giving you 200 wood back. So you got only 75 wood, 50 stone, and then on top of that, kind of making up that difference by giving you 300 food and 100 gold for every town center you build. That's insane. Now, of course, you would have to wait until you got down a castle and you picked up this technology in order to actually take advantage of that bonus. And that technology itself costs 450 food and 300 wood. So, you would be delaying your boom some if you waited until you got the castle up to get the tech to then throw that down. But if you did, this would be a really strong bonus for those of you who love going heavy into your booms. Or you pick up the Great Buddhist Council, which makes Brahmin and temple technology gold costs replaced with food. Interesting that it looks like, based on the description, it does not affect the priest. Priest would still be a gold cost, but the Brahmin, which is probably the unit you want to go into anyway, now picks up a food cost instead. All the temple techs are food costs. This is, of course, a version of the Bohemian unique tech, which is pretty cool. Goes to Kushan. In the Imperial Age, you get your choices between Pax Kushana, trade units cost half and train 50% faster. +2 Royal Mints can be built. So you're going with a limit of 3 up to a limit of 5. I think this would make a great late game situation. You're trying to get a stronger trickle of gold going. Really nice choice there. Or United Jihao. Again, no way am I pronouncing that right. Is that Jihao? Jihao? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Regardless, cavalry archers cost 75% less wood. So they cost 40 wood, 60 gold. 75% less wood means you're subtracting 30 wood. So it becomes 10 wood, 60 gold. I don't know. I don't see that being the biggest benefit. It seems to me like in most games, in most situations, you've hit the Imperial Age, right? You're in the late game sort of situation. It's gold that's going to be hard for you. Now, maybe it's not as hard for the Kushan. They have the Royal Mints going. Hopefully, you've used your priest techs, your priest bonus to get up some early relics, and that helps with your gold as well. So, gold may not be as scarce for the Kushan as for other civs, but still, it's the late game. Gold seems to be the resource that you need, and in contrast, wood typically, even on a game like Arabia, I'm floating thousands and thousands of wood. Right, wood seems to not really be a problem, and I don't know that this bonus would really make the biggest difference in the world. Even in a 1v1 game where trade units don't factor in, being able to put down 2 extra Royal Mints would probably be the bigger deal. I might be wrong about that if you're going all in on Cav Archer, and maybe that would include the Camel Archer. I don't know if it does or not, but it's a little more flexible if it does. Either way, I don't know. I might think Pax Kushana is your go-to. At least that's my read on that. Let's dive into... Oh, wait a minute. Before we jump on, really quickly, let's look. Their archery line looks okay. I mean, obviously, they're a Cav Archer Civ. You got really strong Cav Archer options. You do lose out on the Composite Bowman in the Imperial Age, so you probably don't want to go deep into the Archer line. Infantry seem okay. You've got the Broadswordsman. You do have Long Swordsman and Hoplite, so way better than Gupta. You don't get the Champion, though. You do get Forced March, but you don't get Supplies. Ouch. You do get Arson. Stable line. Ugh, not that great. You get Heavy Cav, which is the Cavalier. You do get Light Cav, but you're missing out on Auxiliary Cav, Imperial Cav, Heavy Cav, Heavy Camel Rider. Missing all that. You do get Bloodlines and Husbandry. Okay. Siege Workshop is okay. You don't get the final Siege Onager upgrade. You're missing out on Heavy Scorpion. Siege does not look so great. The Ring Archer Armor you've got, but you're missing out on Bracer. Wow. You are definitely relying on some of these unique techs to make your Cav Archers go to the next level. Or, again, the Cara Erango, a very powerful, unique unit. And that's probably what we have in mind when we're talking about Kushan being a Cav Archer Civ. Really, it's a unique unit. So the Cara Erango is just such a strong, unique unit. But you do miss out on that final attack upgrade. You miss out on the final melee attack upgrade. You miss out on the final Cav armor upgrade. Ouch. So they do seem to have some strong weaknesses, even as you've got really strong, priest units, a really strong unique unit, and some good, again, Cav Archers that you can use to supplement your Cara Erango. So, a fun civilization. I have played the Kushan, and I will tell you, they are a lot of fun to play with. Next up, we've got the Mauryans. They are an elephant civilization. And what's fascinating to me is that both of these civs, the next two that we're going to look at, they're both elephant civilizations, but they're elephant civs in different ways. So here we have the Mauryans. Hunt and trees last 25% longer. Fascinating bonus because the hunt bonus seems like the more useful bonus in the early game. This means that you're getting a lot more food out of your boar. I think if you do the math, it's not actually 25% more food. I think it's a little bit less than that because the decay lasts longer as well. But you're getting a lot more food out of your boar, a lot more food out of any deer that you push in, right? So that's a really great bonus, even on a map like Arabia, let alone if you get something wild, you're playing on Black Forest and you've got a bunch of extra boar or whatever. A really strong bonus there. But then in the late game, your trees lasting longer means that you won't have to reset your lumber mills as often. You're able to get more wood out of every tree, And of course, if you're playing on a map with sparse trees, that means you're getting a lot more wood out of each and every tree. It could be a useful bonus there. So, really solid bonus for your early eco. Herbal medicine is free and twice as effective. So, if you've got a situation, you're going with an elephant army, you've got a castle down, your elephants are weak, you're needing to pull them back, you pop them into the castle, and they heal up. Again, let's back up here. Where, oh where? Let's go to our monastery. Herbal medicine makes units heal 6 times faster. Now, if you've ever done a comparison of, with and without herbal medicine, it's a really nice tech. Herbal medicine is an underrated technology. You you heal so much faster when you've got this technology. And now for the Mauryans, this tech is twice as effective. So, if I'm not mistaken, it would be 12 times faster instead of 6 times faster. Wow. That's massive. So you're able to just, heal up your elephants and get them back into the fight much more effectively, so long as you have the micro to pull your weak units out of the battle as necessary. Elephant units also receive 25% less bonus damage. So, spears, camels, they will be less effective against your elephant units, which would, of course, include not just your elephants, but your elephant archers as well. Really, really nice. I see a theme of resiliency, don't you? They take less bonus damage, and then they also heal up, much more effectively. So, nice 1-2 punch there. Battle elephants, your cav options here. Battle elephants gain a charge attack. And finally, the light cavalry and auxiliary cavalry upgrades are free. So, a nice scout line bonus to supplement your elephants, meaning that this is definitely a cavalry civilization, right? Their unique unit is the Chakram Thrower. You guys already know about that, so I won't speak about them. The unique techs, Mantri Parishad. The infantry gain +4 damage against cavalry units. Huh. This would be a nice bonus if your opponent is going heavy into camels to try to stop your elephants. And you make some kind of either a tech switch into infantry, or you mix in infantry to support your elephants to help push the enemy base and to kind of fight off those camels. This will just be able to make them that much more effective at dealing with camels. I guess if they're going knights too, that'd be useful, although are they likely to go knights against your elephant army? I don't know. It seems like your elephants might already do the job of taking down knights. Or you can go Kurpasa. Battle elephants gain +1 melee, +2 pierce armor. Interesting. If you want to go all in elephants, Kurpasa is the better choice, obviously, but I think for flexibility's sake, Mantri Parishad would probably be the better choice. Interesting. You got some options there. You want to go all in and end the game quickly on your battle elephants, go Kurpasa, but I think in the long run, Mantri Parishad is what you want to do. In the Imperial Age, you have the Edicts of Ashoka, the Emperor of India, the Emperor of the Mauryans here, not our Star Wars character, right? Edicts of Ashoka allows the construction of the Pillars of Ashoka, and let's take a look at those. That is a unique building that the Mauryans can build, a unique building that makes nearby units attack, move, and work 10% faster. Also makes enemies attack, move, and work 10% slower. So you spread this building across the map. Your building, your everything attacks faster, moves faster, works faster. Your enemy everything attacks, moves, and works slower. It is a jack of all trades, buff, debuff building. Extremely powerful, only costs 50 stone. But you can't build it until the Imperial Age, and you would have to pick up the unique tech in order to actually use that building. Costing, let's scroll over, 500 food and 400 wood. Probably not the most expensive tech in the Imperial Age, but... Or, Arthashastra. Villagers drop off 5% more resources. Interesting. Interesting. So it would seem like if you're playing on a map where resources are tight, you might want to go with Arthashastra because you're squeezing more gold and more stone out of those mines. You're getting more out of the resources that you're collecting from. I don't know if that includes farms or not. I don't know if farms count as resources or if it would just be referring to natural resources like gold mines, stone mines, trees, that kind of thing. Regardless, if scarcity is an issue, probably go Arthashastra, but if you have that flexibility, Edicts of Ashoka is a really powerful building that you can unlock, go into. Team bonus, trade units yield food in addition to gold, not bad. Taking a look at their tech tree here, you get the composite bowman, which is great. That's their arbalest. You get the fully upgraded elite elephant archer, which I think you want to go into. You want to take advantage of these elephant bonuses. So elephant archer's really nice option. You get Parthian tactics, you get marksmanship. Going over to the blacksmith, you get fully unlocked archer options. In fact, you have a full blacksmith other than the final infantry armor upgrade. Your infantry are decent. You're missing out on the halberdier, the auxiliary spearman, but you do get the champion, which looks like the Urumi swordsman, but this is just the champion. Something that's really cool about this mod, by the way, I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you flip around to the different civilizations, the infantry line actually has a different look for different cultures, which is a really cool thing and something I hope we end up seeing in vanilla AoE 2 one of these days. But going back to the Mauryans, you get champion. You're missing out on the halberdier, but again, you could pick up Entrepardashad, which would make them much more effective against cavalry, kind of like the Vikings and their Berserkergang tech, making them more effective against cav. So your spearman is more effective against its counter than you might otherwise expect. Forced March and Arson are available, but again, missing supplies, making these units more expensive than other civs options. Your stable line. You pick up the scout line for free. You have Elite Rothas available. You have the Battle Elephant gone all the way up to Elite. You've got Bloodlines. You've got Husbandry. So a decent stable. You are completely missing the Night line. You don't get any camels. You don't get any chariots. Obviously, you don't get chariots. Siege Workshop. Looks good. You're missing the Siege Onager. You're missing Heavy Scorpion. You are missing the Catapult, which is the Bombard Cannon of Rome at War. So, not the best. And I haven't really been talking about the shipyard. You guys might remember Rome at War has completely overhauled what the Navy looks like, so there's far more to talk about with the Navy than I am here. I'm going to go ahead and actually skip the shipyard talk. I'll let you guys explore that for yourselves. I'm just going to talk about land battles, but just at a glance, they seem decent. Looks like you're missing some of the elite options, elite scout ship, the reinforced prow tech, fast fire ship, elite tremiolia. Yeah, so they seem okay. University looks good. You're missing architecture, guard tower, arrow slits. Okay, but a lot of the key texts are there. Nice. Let's go to our final Indian civilization, the Nanda. Another elephant civ, but again, a very different kind of elephant civilization. First of all, lumber camp upgrades are free. So your wood economy is going to be a lot stronger early on. You know, I mean, as soon as you hit the feudal age, your lumberjacks are working faster. You don't have to worry about picking up that tech, and of course, throughout the ages, they're getting the lumber camp techs for free. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is that the Malay get that bonus? Is that the Malay or the Burmese? I'm always forgetting which is which. Regardless, resource camps can garrison up to 10 villagers. That is huge. That means they're going to be so much harder to raid. If you're wanting to get scouts into the Nanda base, up to 10 lumberjacks can just hide in the lumber mill. Up to, 10 farmers can just hide in the mill, right? Really nice defensive bonus. You're giving your skirmishers or your spears more time to react to whatever rush you've got going on. So I consider this a really strong defensive option. I really like it. You receive 300 gold for each fort built. Not bad. Nice little eco bonus there. Elephants move 10% faster, and Rothas cost 20% less. So, elephant archers, they're going to move faster. Your battle elephant's going to move faster. You do get the elite Rotha. They cost 20% less. So, if I'm not mistaken, the 65 food, 75 gold, that is the default cost. You're subtracting out, what is that? Let's see, that's something like 12, probably like 13 or 14 food down, and then 15 or 16 gold, something like that, that you're subtracting out from the Ratha. Not bad. Their unique unit, the Mahamatra. Let's take a look at him really quickly. This is a unique cavalry unit that increases the attack speed of nearby elephant units by 33%. So a really fun, I love these kind of units. This is a support unique unit. The Mahamatra is not bad as a unit all by himself. Let's take a look. 90 HP, 9 attack, 3 pierce armor, and no melee armor. If we compare to a knight, which I don't think they get anyway. A little bit less HP. Is it a little bit less attack? Yeah, so it's kind of a weaker version of a knight. So you wouldn't want to go for the Mahamatra for his own sake. But you throw a couple of these guys in, you mix them into your elephant army, and now not only are your elephants moving 10% faster, but now they're attacking 20% faster on top of that. So whereas the Mauryans kind of have the resiliency health part of it, the immovable object, these guys are the unstoppable force. They're all about aggression, going on the offense, blitzkrieg tactics, faster moving, faster firing. Really cool options there. The unique techs. Howda. Elephant archers fire a second projectile. Now, I know that the Roman War guys are going to be watching this video. They're going to leave some comments. Take a look in the comments below. They're going to let me know, what does this second projectile do? Because we've seen, like with the upcoming, I believe it's the Armenians, their galley line gets a second projectile. And that second projectile just does 1 damage. So with that in the back of my mind, I'm imagining the Elephant Archer's second projectile, it might only do 1 damage or something like that. So I might be wrong though. Maybe this does double damage. Maybe it's something more than 1 point. So I'm not sure how much damage that does, but obviously it gives your Elephant Archers even more offensive power. Or you give more offensive power to your battle elephants with Ugrasena, giving your battle elephants greatly increased trample radius. So not doing any additional damage to a single target, but if you're dealing with waves of enemy units, and as is so often the case in Age of Empires, often it's masses of units against each other, this vastly improves your area of effect damage from your battle elephants. A really nice option, and probably the one that I'm thinking I might go for myself if I were to pick one of these two. In the Imperial Age, Paravan Infantry. Infantry units deal an additional 7 damage against spearmen specifically. An amazing option for late game fights. That's not just your militia line, but also your spears. Your spears doing 7 damage against enemy spears. A really nice choice. Or Sarvakashtriyantaka. No way did I pronounce that right. Elephants and Rathas generate gold for each enemy unit killed. So this is kind of like the new Persian bonus that we're seeing coming out of the expansion pack tomorrow. But remember, this mod came out a month ago before those bonuses were ever revealed. So this is just one example of how we're seeing some of those bonuses, I say hinted at. I don't mean to say, the Roman War guys don't know anything about what the official devs are doing. But, we see echoes, of how, or how we see the fans maybe anticipating the kinds of bonuses that we see out of the actual game, right? So pretty cool unique tech here. Team bonus, relics also generate food, just like the Burgundians. Archer range. Not great. I mean, you're stuck at the improved bowman, the elite. You do get elite skirmisher, that's good. You do get full text there. The main thing is you do get elite elephant archer, and you get all those bonuses for your elephant units, making their elephant archers a really good option. Do note, as befitting their offensive theme, you get marksmanship, you don't get Parthian tactics. So you're missing out on that armor. You want to take the momentum. Use their increased offensive power to gain the momentum with this civilization. Infantry line, decent. You are missing out on champion, but you get auxiliary spearmen. You actually get supplies with this civilization. Nice. Forced march, arson, and again, I believe a full blacksmith tech. No, you are missing, chainmail armor as well as plate mail armor. So your infantry, keeping the offensive theme, you are missing a lot of armor on your infantry, but not only do you get all of these techs and they're cheaper, but then on top of that, you pick up Paravan infantry and they hit even harder. So the name of the game for the Nanda is offensive power and momentum. Stable line, you do get, of course, the full scout line. No knights, you do get full Ratha, you get full battle elephant, you do get husbandry, you do get bloodlines, and you actually do get full armor for your cavalry. Full armor, full attack upgrades, so really solid stable line there. Siege looks okay. You're missing out on catapult, heavy scorpion, siege onager, just like a lot of the Indian civs. And I think that pretty much covers it for Nanda. And that leaves us with our final civilization, which technically is not part of the empires of the Indus, but I'm mixing them in. The Han were released shortly after the expansion came out. So for me, they kind of all blend in together. We're going to talk about the Han, which are the Chinese of Roman War. And this is, without a doubt, probably the most radical civilization added into the game, because these guys have a lot going for them. And it says here, an advanced weaponry and infantry civilization. There's a lot to talk about here. First of all, wheelbarrow and handcart are free. This is, of course, the Viking bonus, making your economy very strong and very flexible. As soon as you tech up, you're picking up those technologies. You don't have to worry about investing the resources. You don't have to worry about investing the TC time. It just makes your eco that much more fluid. Commanderies are available in the Middle Antiquity Age, and the Taishui, again, no way am I pronouncing that right, the Taishui is available in the Imperial Age. Finally, crossbowmen, which is the Roman War version of the hand cannoneer. The crossbowman costs 20% less. So what we're seeing, they've got one eco bonus, and then these like wildly unique bonuses that unlock long-term late-game potential, but you've got to work to actually get there, right? So the one bonus you get is wheelbarrow and handcart are free, and then you unlock all of this stuff and this late-game discount on a unique unit. You have 4 unique units. The Zhongjun, the Zhao Wei, the Imperial Magistrate, and the Zhuzhnu. My apologies, I just know someone will leave a comment telling me how to pronounce all of these things. But the Zhongjun is a cavalry unit, the Zhao Wei, an infantry unit, the Imperial Magistrate, a civilian unit, and the Zhuzhnu, an archer. And what we're going to see is many of these units are actually officers that buff other units. So we'll see that in a second. Let's actually talk about them right now. Let's go down the unique, let's just go down the tech tree and we'll run into the unique units as we go. Their archery range, you get the improved bowman. You are missing out on composite bowman, but of course you get crossbows that actually have a discount to them. The Zhuzhnu, a Han unique archer that ignores armor. Fires multiple arrows in quick succession, strong versus infantry, and weak versus skirms and mangonels. So this is a lot like the, of course, the Chinese unique unit that we see in AoE 2. I'm going to guess, not knowing the numbers, it looks like it only has 3 attack. I think that's less than the attack has in actual AoE 2. This should be a weaker unit because it is more readily accessible. You don't need a castle for these guys. You just throw down the archery range. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, they have less range, they have less attack. Again, a comment from one of the devs below, I'm sure will clarify that. But we do get the Zhuzhnu and the elite Zhuzhnu. So that's the Chokunu brought into Roman War. You get marksmanship, but not part of the tactics. You don't get cav archer at all. So the archer range has some really cool options between the unique unit and the crossbowman. Pretty cool. I can't see why you would really want to go down the archer line unless you're doing a bowman rush. You'd want to go with your unique unit and then the crossbowman. Those are your options there for the Han. If we look at the barracks, you get the longswordsman. You actually get the halberdier. Wait a minute. Anti-cav infantry unit has a 0.5 tile range. Strong versus mounted units, especially elephants. Weak versus archer and infantry. Now you see here, this is a purple border unit. The halberdier is, it looks like it's not listed as a unique unit. So I'm wondering if this is some kind of regional unit. I'm trying to think who else we even have the... Who else would even have the halberdier? I'm not sure. But it looks like you have a little bit of additional range, if I'm not mistaken, on the halberdier compared to the auxiliary spearman. Okay, so not bad. Regional unit there. Strong late game option. You have longswordsman, but not champion. You do get the full text here. In the stable line, you are missing out on, you have cavalier, heavy cav. You're missing out on imperial cav. You're missing out on auxiliary cav. Please ignore the train in the background. Your siege workshop. You are missing out on a lot of your elite options. The siege ram, the siege onager. You do get heavy scorpion. You do get catapult. Okay. Blacksmith text. Notice how you're missing your final archer armor upgrade. You're missing your final cav armor. Otherwise, you have a full blacksmith tech. Moving over here, we have the commandery. We got 2 unique buildings for China, for the Han. The first is the commandery. It costs 200 wood and 50 stone. This is a Han unique building that trains the Zhao Wei and the Imperial Magistrate. and serves as a drop site for farmers, miners, and lumberjacks, can garrison units, and finally, researches several unique technologies. So the Han get access to technologies that other civilizations don't. So the Jiaowei is a Han unique infantry unit that makes nearby infantry attack 25% faster. Now this unit is, if we look at the stats, ever so slightly better than his two-handed swordsman counterpart. Or am I getting it backwards? This is the long swordsman. The Castle Age infantry unit. He's a little bit better than the Castle Age unique unit, but what really makes him worthwhile is he's like an officer. He makes all of your other infantry units attack faster. So what you want to do is throw this down. If you're going with an infantry push, you spam out your infantry, and then you throw in a couple Jiaowei just to make your infantry that much better, right? And same thing, of course, with the elite Jiaowei, giving him just a little bit more attack and resiliency, a little bit more HP. So, honestly, though, for me, I don't know if the upgrade... I mean, it's probably a little bit worth it, but I'm not building Jiaowei for the attack. And I'm not really getting that much more... What is that? 5 more HP. The buff is what it's really all about. That 25% faster attack speed. It's really nice. The Imperial Magistrate is an economic version of the Jiaowei, a Han unique economic unit that makes nearby villagers, universities, and blacksmiths work 10% faster. This is kind of like the AoE 4 prelate from the Holy Roman Empire. That's basically been brought into Rome at War here with the Imperial Magistrate. This guy makes your economy just flow that much faster. Kind of like some of the other units that we've seen from, I'm just thinking of the Pillars of Ashoka in particular, so really nice option there. And then with these unique techs, lacquered armor, infantry units gain +1 pierce armor. Beijun Royal Guards, spearmen receive less damage from archers. Question, does that include skirmishers? I don't know. Jiaowei gain +1 melee armor. Labor tax, economic buildings work even faster. Does that include your town center? I don't know. Nanjun levies, swordsmen require less population space. Wow. Considering you're going to have the Jiaowei buffing up your infantry. And you've got, was it fully upgraded, blacksmith? You've got all the armor, you've got all the tech, so you're missing your champion upgrade. But otherwise, I think between Jiaowei and then picking up lacquered armor, giving your, I guess that's for the Jiaowei, but you could get a huge infantry force out of a late game Han army. Pretty cool. The Zhangjun is your fort unique unit. This is a cavalry unit, an officer, a cavalry unit that buffs your archery range units. So if you're going with archers, if your strategy is to go, crossbows or chokanu, you throw in the Zhangjun as your officer to kind of buff them up and make them fire even faster, right? So some really nice synergies there, and would make these guys, I think, a really fun civilization to play, especially for like comp stomps or just you just get to have a very unique all Chinese army. I can see you throwing in I want to go all in archers and have Zhangjun backing them up, and then I get some infantry with Jiaowei backing them. You're just gonna have a very unique army if you go with the Han, which is pretty cool. And then finally, don't forget, before we move on from the tech tree here, and we still got to talk about the unique techs, I know, but we also get access to the Taiju. Where is that Taiju? This is like a super version of the University. So you see the University, it's got almost everything. It's missing Heated Shop, but otherwise it's got a full University tree. And then in the Imperial Age, you get the Taiju, which is a super university. It gives you kind of a level 2 version of a lot of the different techs that are in the game. So we see rammed earth foundations, buildings gain even more HP and additional armor. The Great Wall, stone walls and gates cost 40% less. And you'll notice each of these techs requires a university tech to have been researched. So, like I said, it's kind of a level 2 version of those techs. Mohist Siege Crossbow, advanced units, which would be the your ballistics tech, right? So that's your crossbows, your I'm trying to remember the bombard cannon unit, right? Those units all fire 10% faster, and it requires advanced weaponry to be researched. Raised relief battle maps. Advanced units are affected by ballistics. So that's, again, your hand cannoneer unit, the crossbowmen, your, again, bombard cannon, I'm forgetting what they're called. They are affected by ballistics. Very cool tech. Traction trebuchets. Siege weapons deal more damage to buildings. Siege projectiles move faster. Nice combo there with... Let me look up this unit. I keep wanting to say bombard cannon. What is this thing called? The... Oh, good grief. Here it is. The catapult. Your catapult's going to be insane as China in the late game. You've got ballistics. You've got, you're doing more damage against buildings. It's affected by ballistics. They shoot faster. They move. It's just amazing. Guard towers are upgraded to Imperial towers, so you have an ultimate tower upgrade. Crenellated defenses. Towers and forts fire 25% faster, so nice combination there. Dry moats. Towers and forts do more damage against rams, require murder holes to be researched. And then finally, water wheel. Villagers construct buildings even faster, requiring treadmill crane to be researched. So, the Han seem to be a late game powerhouse. You are, have the most... do they have the most potential of any civilization in the game? It sure seems like it. Because you have the super university, you've got these different unique units which are supporting an incredible economy. You have so you got a technological strength. If you're going down the infantry line, then you can get more out of your population limits than anybody else. Han are incredibly strong. And I will say at first blush, I was kind of wondering if they might even be too strong. It wouldn't surprise me if this civilization got some nerfs. They seem extremely strong in a late game scenario. I can imagine in an 8v8 team game diplomacy situation where everybody's getting into the Imperial Age, if the Han were really, really, really strong. Because their weakness is that they don't really have, other than the wheelbarrow handcart bonus, they don't really have anything to help you get there, right? So, your feudal age, your castle age, there's not that much going on for them. And then again, if you're going archers, you miss out on the final archer upgrade. You're missing out on the final infantry upgrade. You're missing out on the final cav upgrade, both auxiliary and nightline. So the thing that maybe is limiting them, other than their lack of early game bonuses, is that you are missing out on just those straight up final bonuses for those units, and you actually have to lean into the officers and the kind of these weird strengths of the Han in order to get the most out of them. If you just try to, mass cav and go like any other civilization, you're not going to get as much out of them. You are, of course, missing the final cav armor upgrade. You're missing the final archer armor upgrade. So they actually have weaknesses if you're not leaning into the micro and getting as much as you can out of them. But they do have some incredible potential. And it looks to my mind, unless I'm missing something, like they are the civilization with the most late game potential in the game. Just incredible siege, incredible advanced weaponry, really strong infantry options. Yeah, this is a really powerful civ. And with that, guys, I think that covers the 5 Rome at War civilizations that have been recently added into the game. I hope you enjoyed the overview. A little bit of excitement here for Rome at War, as we are, of course, expecting the Mountain Royals DLC to come out tomorrow. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more Rome at War, let me know. We're looking at what to do with the channel moving forward. We've got some more Rome at War videos I want to do. We've got more Age of Empires 3 videos. I'm missing that, so expect to see more of that too as well. Let me know what you want to see in the comments below. Let me know if you're excited to see some Rome at War gameplay, maybe featuring these new civilizations. If you would, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you that does that. For now, this is the Iron Kaiser saying, Walete. Have a great day out there, guys. Bye now.